Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It's Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with this week's installment of Building the Team. This actually may be the last Building the Team for the next few weeks, as there might not be tournaments for the next few weeks. But yeah, let's play that by ear. Anyways, last week we ran the. I ended up running the New Mutants team. It sadly did not do as well as it could have, but them's the breaks. This week's build is a 600-point build for the Snowball fight. All terrain will be treated as hindering for movement only, and hindering that cannot be ignored. Every time a character moves, you may pick up a snowball light object. If you throw a snowball, damage cannot be reduced below 1, and hit character given an action token. All at 600 points. So, let's do this, shall we? First and foremost, let's address the elephant in the room. The big guy himself. Eternity. Eternity is one of the Colossals from the recent Avengers Infinity set, which I bought a case of, and I kind of wish I'd done an unboxing of that case, but I bought it a few months after the fact. So, anywho, he brings the Cosmic and Deity keywords to the table, as well as the Power Cosmic team ability. Power Cosmic affords the character willpower and immunity to outwit, or, well, having powers countered at all. Anyways, so we've got 4 traits, only one of which actually matters, but we'll go through all of them, because why not? So the one that actually matters, and this is only for when he's on his 600-point starting line or his 250-point starting line, not his 100-point starting line. I am the embodiment of this reality. When eternity is given an action token, after resolutions, remove it. So yeah, this is a guy that's never taken pushing damage. Ever. Colossal stamina. Yeah, that's nice. You know, he just gets to keep on going without taking the one unavoidable damage, because you're not adding a third token, any additional tokens to him. So, yeah. Next up, we've got Cosmic Entity. Okay, there are 2. Well, no, because he would be the only character on the team. Cosmic Entity. Eternity can't be the target of an attack with more than one target. Again, as he is going to be at a 600-point starting line, it doesn't really matter, because, yeah, he is the team. You can't kill the abstract, Eternity. When another friendly character that isn't a bystander will be KO'd. Once per turn, you may roll a d6. On a 6, turn that character to its last non-KO click instead. When Eternity is KO'd, this effect continues for the rest of the game. There are no other friendly characters to him, so yeah. Then finally, we have Everywhere at Once. During force construction, Eternity gains all keywords from all other characters on your starting force. Again, doesn't really matter. Then we have a special power on speed. You have captured my attention. When another character KOs a character opposing to it with an attack, give it a notice token. As a free action, you may place Eternity adjacent to a character with a notice token. Okay, alright. Now, opening die, we've got phasing on movement, a naked attack spot with a 13, 20 defense with invincible, and 5 damage without wit. This is the guy that comes in hard. And you get someone in his range, and his range, by the way, is 12. So yeah, if he can outwit a defensive power, or damage reducer, and then attack, whew, bye. You gotta hit this guy. You gotta take him down real quick. Now, power, when it comes to the dial, we've got some phasing at the beginning and end of the dial. Then in the early, middle, and end dials, at various points, we've got you have captured my attention. And we've also got a little bit of mind control. Sadly, we don't have any movement attack powers, such as charge or running shot, or even sidestep. On the attack dial, after that first click with no attack powers, we've got Pulse Wave, which is followed up by Penetrating Psychic Blast, which is followed by Incapacitate. And it basically just kind of alternates between those powers, not, you know, one click of the one click of the second, one click of the third, but rather you get, well, that's how it is at first, but then it's, you know, a few clicks of that, you know, a little bit, and at the end we go back to being blank for 2 clicks. On defense, we've got a block of Invincible, followed by a block of Impervious, followed by a block of Invulnerability. And that goes, and then it starts the cycle again with shorter blocks. And then again, last 2 clicks, we've got some, instead of a reducer, we've got Regeneration. Now, this is where things just gotta go 1-1, you know, just a cycle of 3. Where it's Outwit, Probability Control, and Perplex. It just kind of constantly goes around those 3 in that order. Oh. Anyways, so next up, we're also looking at a potential Atlantis team. So, leading things off on said Atlantis team, we've got Aquaman. And to be honest, this team is basically this team is the same Atlantis team I put together a while back, just without Giganto. Aquaman brings the Atlantis, Justice League, and Ruler keywords to the table. He's got improved targeting, ignores hindering terrain. He's also an aquatic. He's got the water brain fart transporter symbol, so he can carry friendly characters. Anyways, we open up with Running Shot. Then we've got a special attack power, Trident of Neptune, Relic of Atlantis. At the beginning of your turn, choose one to last until you choose again. Aquaman can use Enhancement and Leadership, or Aquaman can use Energy Explosion, or Aquaman can use Penetrating Psychic Blast. Not bad. And on defense, we kick things off with Invulnerability. Also, he's got Indomitable, so he's got built-in willpower. And finally, on damage, we've got Subtle Telepathic Push. Once per turn, Aquaman can use either Outwit or Perplex. When he does, he may target characters with the swim symbol or swimming transporter symbol anywhere on the map. Now that's really useful, because it's kind of like, who needs range or line of fire? Anyways, the rest of the dial. After some Running Shot, he's got Sidestep, which then turns into Charge. After Trident of Neptune, Relic of Atlantis special power, we've got Blade's Claw's Fangs. Then his invulnerability clicks into Toughness, and that clicks into Super Senses. And after the Subtle Telepathic Push special power, we've got Close Combat Expert. Alright, not bad. Next up, we've got Ocean Master, who is actually arch nemesis, one of the arch nemesis of Aquaman. Ow, excuse me. Anyways, Ocean Master has the Atlantis, Mystical, and Ruler keywords. Anyways, we got special power. Or first off, we have the trait Tidal Wave. Once per game, give Ocean Master double power action, and choose an edge of the map that your starting area is adjacent to. Roll 2d6 and double the amount, or double the result. Any square within a number of squares away from the chosen edge equal to the result are water terrain adjacent to any other terrain types this game. With consider the fact that all open terrain is going to be snow terrain, as the best way to put it. That's not really going to be an issue. Anyways, starting off, we've got some running shot. Then we got special power Electrocute. Ocean Master can use Penetrating Psychic Blast. When he does, Ocean Master may target any number of opposing characters within range that are occupying water terrain. Okay, so maybe that Tidal Wave power might come in handy. Defensively, we got Invulnerability. And on damage, we start off with Leadership, which is always handy. Anyways, running shot's all he's got on speed. Electrocute clicks into Precision Strike. Invulnerability that clicks into Toughness. And Toughness gives way to Energial Deflection. Leadership gives way to Probability Control, and that gives way to Range Combat Expert. Next up, we've got Marvel's King of the Seven Seas, Namor, the Submariner himself. And I love this sculpt. It's from the Civil War set, or storyline organized play set. That was actually one of the I won't call it chase figures, but sort of prize figures. Anyway, Namor comes in at 100. I just realized I haven't been mentioning their point costs. Aquaman's at 172 points, and Ocean Master comes in at 115 points. Anyways, Namor comes in at 110 points. He's got Anti-Registration, Atlantis, Defenders, Illuminati, and a Ruler. We got a trait, King of Atlantis. Other friendly characters with the Atlantis keyword modify their attack value by +1. Namor can use Leadership. Good thing to have. Anyways, we start off with the opening dial. We got Sidestep, Special Attack Power Imperious Rex. You give Namor a power action to place adjacent an Atlantean Warrior bystander, or give him a double power action to place adjacent two Atlantean Warrior bystanders. You may not use this power if there are more than 4 Atlantean Warrior bystanders on your force. Then on defensively, we've got Invulnerability as well as Indomitable. So double power action is feasible. Then on damage, we open up with Close Combat Expert. Also, there's that Atlantean Warrior bystander that he's talking about, that he brings into play. It's got the Warrior Atlantis trait. It has the Atlantis keyword, and its move actions don't count against your action total. We've got some charge, combat reflexes, and Close Combat Expert. Anyways, let's see. Sidestep gives way to charge. Imperious Rex gives way to super strength. Vulnerability gives way to toughness, which gives way to regeneration. And Close Combat Expert gives way to too many my warriors, or to empower. Next up, we've got Mira, Aquaman's queen. We've surely seen her in the trailers for Aquaman. Anyway, Mira has the Atlantis and Ruler keywords. Comes in at 84 points. She's got a trait, Aquatic Extension. Mira's range value is equal to 1 plus the number of squares of water terrain she occupies or is adjacent to. Ooh. So potentially speaking, she could have a 10 range. Anyway, it starts off with Sidestep on movement. telekinesis on attack, toughness on defense, and leadership on damage. Anyways, sidestep gives way to charge, telekinesis gives way to incapacitate, which gives way to precision to strike, which gives way to Blade's Claw's Fangs. Toughness gives way to super senses. Leadership gives way to the special power A Day Without Water. When an opposing character within 3 squares is given a non-free action, after action is resolved, place a thirst token on that character's card. Characters with any thirst tokens on their card modify their combat values by -1. When a character clears action tokens, remove 1 thirst token from its card. And then she closes out with Battle Fury. Next up, we've got Namorita, cousin of Namor, and a member of the 90s super team, the New Warriors. And sadly, she was a casualty of the beginning of Civil War when the New Warriors fought a handful of B-grade supervillains, including Nitro. Anyways, Namorita comes in at 60 points, and she brings the Atlantis, Celebrity, Defenders, and New Warriors keywords to the table. We've got trait Octopoid Camouflage. Namorita can use Stealth. She can use Shape Change if she's adjacent to a wall or a square of blocking terrain. Anyway, she starts off with Sidestep, the special attack power Acidic Touch. When she hits an adjacent opposing character that can use Impervious, Invincible, or Vulnerability, this turn that character can't use that power but can use Toughness instead. I like that. That's actually really nice. Based on defense, we've got Toughness, and yeah, nothing on damage to start with. Now, Sidestep gives way to Charge, Acidic Touch gives way to Super Strength, Toughness gives way to Combat Reflexes, and eventually on her dash she clicks into Close Combat Expert. Finally, rounding out the team, we've got the Trench. A somewhat cannibalistic monster from, I believe, the first New 52 arc of Aquaman's solo book. Anyway, the Trench comes in at 45 points, brings the Atlantis and monster keywords to the table. We got a trait, Cannibal Race. When an adjacent friendly character with the swim symbol or swimming transporter symbol is KO'd, you may heal the Trench of 2 damage. Anyway, starting off, we've got the special power on movement, Undersea Predators. The Trench can use Charge. If it began its turn occupying water terrain, it can use hypersonic speed. Then we've got Blade's Claw's Fangs on attack and Toughness on defense. Nothing on damage. For the rest of the dial, Undersea Predators gives way to Charge. Alright, that is the Atlantis team. So, let's look at the rest of these teams, shall we? We'll start off with the X-Force, with our X-Force team. Anyway, kicking things off, we've got Cable. Cable we've talked about many a time, but just in case new viewers or people have forgotten, Cable comes in at 120 points. He brings the New Mutants 6-pack X-Force X-Men Armor, Future, and Soldier keywords to the table. His improved movement ignores hindering terrain. He also has a trait X-Force, allowing him to use Stealth. On speed, he has a special power, Body Slide. Cable can use Phasing Teleport. When he does and moves 5 squares or less, after action is resolved, he may make a close or range attack. On attack, opening up, he's got Penetrating Psychic Blast, which sadly cannot be used in conjunction with Body Slide anymore, at least. Next, on defense, with a special power, Techno-Organic Body and Telekinetic Shield. Cable can use Invulnerability. When Cable has less than 2 action tokens, he can use Energy Shield Deflection. That's very nice. And finally, on damage, we've got Probability Control. Anyways, rest of the dial. Body Slide clicks into Running Shot, which clicks back into Body Slide, which clicks into Flurry, which clicks back into Body Slide. Penetrating Blast clicks into Energy Explosion, and then we got nothing for the last 3 clicks. After a few clicks of Tech Organic Body and Telekinetic Shield, we get some toughness, and finally a click of regeneration. On damage, we go from Probability Control to Range Combat Expert to Exploit Weakness, and all the way back to Probability Control. Also, Cable has the X-Men team ability because, well, X-Men. Anyways, next on the list is Spiral. I think maybe she's popped up once in one of these. I know I used her at some point in the recent-ish past, but yeah. Anyway. Spiral comes in at 106 points. She brings the Brotherhood of Mutants, Freedom Force, Mojoverse, Mystical, Robot, and X-Force keywords to the table. She has a trait, Dimensional Portal. Give Spiral a double power action. Remove all gateway markers from the map and place 2 gateway markers on the map. Place one in an adjacent square and the other may be placed in any square on the map. Friendly characters may treat squares as gateway markers as adjacent to each other for movement purposes. Alright, so dial-wise, starting off, we've got Phasing Teleport, Pulse Wave, Energy Shield Deflection, and Probability Control. Now, Phasing Teleport gives way to Charge. Pulse Wave gives way to 6 Armed Menace. Spiral can use Blades, Claws, Fangs, and Flurry. When she uses Blades, Claws, Fangs, she may re-roll the D6 roll once per turn. So, if, say, on the first Flurry attack, you roll a 4, you kind of have to say, well, maybe I'll keep that 4 because I might roll a 2 next turn and have to re-roll that instead. So, but it's kind of iffy. Anyways, on defense, Energy Shield Deflection gives way to Combat Reflexes. On damage, Probability Control gives way to Shape Change. Alright, next up on the list is Domino. Again, someone we've popped up more than a few times. Anyway, Domino comes in at 90 points. Oh, wait. Wrong card. Domino comes in at 90 points. She has the 6-pack, X-Force, Assassin, Soldier, and Spy keywords. She has 2 traits. First up, we've got X-Force, allowing her to use stealth, just like Cable. Next up, we have Bad Luck Lady. Domino can use Probability Control. When an opposing character rerolls an attack targeting Domino, immediately modify the attacker's attack and damage values by -1. Okay, not bad. I have to wonder. If that can end up being cumulative. Anywho, so starting off, we've got Running Shot on speed, Precision Strike on attack, and on defense, Combat Reflexes. Most of her dials, she has nothing on damage. Anyways, Running Shot gives way to Sidestep. Precision Strike eventually gives way to Blades, Claws, Fangs. Combat Reflexes gives way to Super Senses, which gives way to 1 solitary click at the very end of regeneration. And on damage, eventually she gets 2 clicks of Shape Change. Not too shabby. Anyways, next on the list is Psylocke. Also a familiar face, no doubt. Like I said, if you've been watching these often, you've seen Psylocke more than a few times. Anyways, Psylocke comes in at 90 points, has the X-Men team ability, which also Domino has the X-Men team ability. She's got she brings the X-Force, X-Men, Assassin, and Martial Artist keywords to the table. We got 2 traits. First off is the X-Force trait, giving her stealth, like Domino and Cable. Then we have Mind Blade. When Psylocke makes a close combat attack and hits an opposing character that can use Incapacitate, Mind Control, Outwit, or Penetrating Psychic Blast. When she makes a close combat attack and it hits an opposing character that can use Incap, Mind Control, Outwit, or Penetrating Psychic Blast, roll a d6 that can't be re-rolled and increase Psylocke's damage value by half the result. That could be nasty. Anyways, we start off with Stealth, follow that up with Incapacitate, then with Stealth or with Chart. We open up with Charge on attack or on speed, Incapacitate on attack, Combat Reflexes on defense, and Shape Change on damage. Now, Charge gives way to Flurry. Eventually, she clicks into Blades on attack. Combat Reflexes gives way to Super Senses, which goes back to Combat Reflexes for the last couple clicks. Then Shape Change gives way to Close Combat Expert. Close Combat Expert gives way to Outwit. Alright, not too shabby. Anywho, next up we've got Shatterstar. This is the version that we used on the New Mutants team last week. There are perks to using this version. Alright, so he comes in at 73 points, no team ability, brings the Future, Mojoverse, New Mutants, Warrior, X-Factor, and X-Force keywords to the table. He's got a trait X-Portal. Once per game, give Shatterstar a power action. Place Shatterstar on an adjacent friendly character of a lower point value in any adjacent squares on the map. Now, admittedly, there are only 2 figures on this team that are of lower point value than Shatterstar, but and to be perfectly honest, that's the part I always I was trying to forget so many times last week. So many times there was a point I almost exported Shatterstar and Cable just so I could, yes, there we go. Now I have Line of Fire on. Oh wait, no I don't. Never mind. We're done. Rerun. Couldn't do that. Sorry. Anyways, he starts off with Charge on speed. And we got these special attack power 2 Twin Blades. Shatterstar can use Blade Slots, Fangs, and Flurry. On defense, we open up with Combat Reflexes. And we have, starting off, nothing on damage. Now, rest of the dial. Charge gives way to Sidestep. 2 Twin Blades gives way to regular Blade Slots, Fangs. Combat Reflexes is there for... It is his defensive power of choice. And eventually he clicks into Exploit Weakness. Next up on the list is Boom Boom. Yeah, I was actually thinking about this last night. One thing I'd love to see is a miniseries where Boom Boom and Jubilee have to work together. Because explosions and shades. Anywho, Boom Boom comes in at 60 points and has the X-Men team ability. She brings the New Mutants, X-Factor, and X-Force keywords to the table. We've got, starting off, we've got Running Shot on speed. On attack, we have special power 3, 2, 1, Boom. Boom Boom can use Energy Explosion and Penetrating Psychic Blast. When she makes a range attack and has no action tokens, modify her attack and damage values by +1. Nice. On On defense, we start off with energy shield deflection, and we got nothing on damage for the entire dot. So, anyways, running shot gives way to sidestep. 3-2-1 boom gives way to energy explosion. Energy shield deflection gives way to willpower. Not bad. Anyways, rounding things out, we've got Richter coming in at 58 points. Richter's a longtime member of the New Mutants and whatnot. He wasn't a founding X-Force member, as he had left the team on account of the fact that he had some disagreements with Cable. Namely, the fact it was revealed that the fact that Strife, Cable's clone, murdered Richter's father in front of him when he was younger. So, anyways, Richter comes in at 58 points, has no team ability. He brings the Detective, New Mutants, X-Corp, X-Factor, and X-Force keywords to the table. And we start off with the trait Reunited Duo. When Richter is adjacent to a friendly character named Shatterstar, they both modify their attack by +1, if not already modified by this effect. Anyways, we open up with Charge on speed, Seismic Shock on attack. Richter can use Quake. He can use it normally, or he may instead use it to target each opposing character along a direct line of fire within his range. That's not bad. We got energy shield deflection on defense, and open up with exploit weakness on damage. Okay, all right. Now, charge his way to sidestep. Seismic shock gives way to precision strike. Energy shield deflection gives way to willpower, and the only damage power he has is exploit weakness. Anywho, moving on to the Marvel's Distinguished Competition, DC. And we have a Justice League Dark team. Starting things off, we've got... Let's set this aside for a moment. Opening up, we've got Blue Devil. Not sure if I like how he looks post Flashpoint or in pre-Flashpoint. But anyways, Blue Devil comes in at 135 points. He has the Mystics team ability, meaning that when an opposing character does damage to him, they take 1 damage, or 1 penetrating damage. In fact, most of these guys have Mystics. Not all, though. Anyway, he brings the Justice League Dark, Monster, Mystical, and Shadow Pact keywords to the table. Now we got a couple of traits. First off is Demon Hunter. Adjacent friendly characters and friendly characters with the Justice League Dark keyword ignore the Mystics team ability, which is great. Next up, we've got Supernatural Exorcism. When Blue Devil damages a character and a special power is revealed that stops that dial from turning, at her action's resolve, deal that character 2 unavoidable damage. He screws with stop clicks, and that's one reason we love him. Honestly, I kind of wish I'd been fielding this team instead of whatever team I was running the one time I had to go up against the con-exclusive Doomsday, because every single click is a stop click, at least from the second click onward. Anyway, we open up with Running Shot on speed, Hellfire Blast on just Hellfire on attack. Blue Devil can use Energy Explosion and Penetrating Psychic Blast. Okay. On defense, we've got Invulnerability. On damage, we start on on damage we got nothing starting off. The rest of the dial. Running Shot gives way to Leap Climb. Hellfire gives way to Super Strength. Invulnerability gives way to Toughness, which gives way to Energy Shield Deflection. And eventually on damage we click into Probability Control. Alright. Moving on, we've got Zatanna. Anyway, Zatanna comes in at 120 points. She brings the JLA and Mystics team abilities to the table. She's also got the Celebrity, Justice League Dark, Mystical, and Shadow Pact keywords. I really wish she had one of the other Justice League keywords as well, so she could play on either Justice League of America or Justice League theme teams, but yeah. Anyway, start off with, we got a trait and an imp. When you place your shares at the start of the game, you may turn Zatanna to click 6. If you do, this game turn her dial counterclockwise when she is damaged, and clockwise when she is healed, and she can't heal past click 6. This trait can't be ignored. Except it can. Well, the point of actually doing putting her on click 6 instead of starting her on click 6 to click 1, you can just decide, no, I'm not going to do that. And to be fair, I usually don't do that myself. It's a pain in the ass to think of, to remember. Anyway, come on. There we go. Anywho, she starts off with running shot on speed. On attack, we've got it's stinging magic spelled backwards. Zatanna can use penetrating psychic blast and precision strike. Always a nice combination. On defense, we've got energy deflection. And on damage, we open up with outwit. Anywho, rest of the dial. Running shot gives way to sidestep. Stinging magics backwards gives way to pulse wave, which gives way to telekinesis. Energy deflection gives way to toughness, which in turn gives way to defend. Outwit gives way to help them, again, backwards. Gives Zatanna a free action and choose one of the following to last until your next turn. Zatanna can use Barrier and Perplex, or she can use Enhancement and Probability Control. And then finally, on damage, we've got Support. Always actually kind of handy, to be perfectly honest. Next up, we've got Jason Blood. Jason Blood is probably most recognizable to more casual comic fans as from his appearances on Justice League Unlimited. Anyway, Jason Blood comes in at 100 points, has the Mystics team ability, and brings the Gotham City, Justice League Dark, Mystical, and Shadow Pact keywords to the table. He also has a trait, Gone, Gone, the Form of Man, Rise the Demon Etrigan. Give Jason Blood a free action if he began your turn on the map. Replace him with World's Finest figure number 45, Etrigan, on the same click number. Now, we'll talk about Etrigan later on. Anyway, Jason Blood kicks things off with Stealth, Penetrating Psychic Blast, Special Defensive Power, Sorceress Wards. Jason Blood can use Super Senses. Adjacent friendly characters that share a keyword with him can use Super Senses, but only succeed on a roll of 6. And he also starts off with a special damage power, Unravel Your Simple Magics. Jason Blood can use Outwitted Probability Control. Adjacent friendly characters can't be targeted by opposing characters' probability control. Okay. Alright, so the rest of his dial, we've got Stealth gives way to Sidestep. Penetrating Psychic Blast gives way to Precision Strike, which gives way to Smoke Cloud. Sorceress Wards gives way to Energy Deflection. Unravel Your Simple Magic gives way to Probability Control, which gives way to Outwit. Anyway, next up we've got Frankenstein. Or to be exact, Frankenstein's monster. Anyway, Frank here comes in at 93 points, has the Creature Commandos, Justice League Dark, Monster, Past, 7 Soldiers, and Soldier keywords. Anyway, we open up with Charge. Then the special attack power, Archangel's Sword. Frankenstein can use Blaze's Claw's Fangs. When he does, the result is 4, 5, or 6. Hit characters can't be healed this game, even if this power is lost. Ooh, I like that. Archangel's Sword gives away to Toughness. No, it doesn't give away to Toughness. After Archangel's Sword on defense, then on defense we've got Toughness. He's also got Indomitable, so built-in willpower. Finally, on damage, we open up with nothing on damage. Anywho, rest of the dot. Alright, so Charge gives way to the special power Necronauts. When Frankenstein or a friendly character KO an opposing character with a point value of 50 or more with an attack, all friendly characters with the Justice League Dark keyword can be given a move action as a free action this turn. Okay, alright. That gives way to Sidestep. Then the only power on attack is Archangel's Sword. On defense, Toughness gives way to Combat Reflexes, and that gives way to Regeneration. I like the name for it. Stitch myself up. On defense, eventually we click into Outwit, which gives way to Close Combat Expert. Alright, next on the list we've got John Constantine. Probably my favorite Arrowverse character. And just a favorite DC Mystic. Anyways, Constantine here comes in at 90 points, has the Mystics team ability, brings the Justice League Dark and Mystical keywords to the table, and then has the trait, We Operate from the Shadows. Alright? John Constantine can use Stealth. Adjacent friendly characters with the Justice League Dark keyword can use Stealth. Then we open up with the special speed power, Ultimate Con Man. Once per turn, choose Outwit or Perplex, and John Constantine can use that power until your next turn. When he uses the chosen power to target an opposing character, that character can't use the chosen power until your next turn. This power can't be countered. Oh, I love the idea of basically outwitting someone else's outwit, and they can't say anything about the fact that they can't outwit your outwit to bring back their outwit. Anyway, on attack we've got Telekinesis. Defense, we've got Energy Shield Deflection. On damage with a special power, I Make My Own Luck. John Constantine can use probability control, but can use it twice each turn. Anywho, rest of the dial. Ultimate Con Man gives way to Phasing Teleport. Telekinesis gives way to Penetrating Psychic Blast. Energy Shield Deflection is the only defensive power he has. And then I Make My Own Luck gives way to Exploit Weakness. Not too shabby. Alright. Finally, we've got, well, I say finally, but next on the list, next on the team is Tim Hunter, who is basically the team's Harry Potter, but with more than a gazillion differences, and also having existed longer than young Mr. Potter. Anyways, so Tim comes in at 58 points. He has the Justice League Dark and Mystical keywords. He has the trait Expelled Unnatural Magic. Tim Hunter and adjacent friendly characters with the Justice League Dark keyword can't be the target of opposing characters' probability control. God, I love that. We open up on speed with phasing teleport. We got nothing until defense, where we got everyone's annoyingly concerned for my welfare. Before any attack roll, Tim Hunter may replace his defense value with the unmodified defense value of any adjacent friendly character with the mystical keyword. And there's plenty with the mystical keyword on this team. And seeing as like he's got a 15 printed, yeah, you're probably replacing his defense value. And then on damage, with a special power, mentored by the Trenchcoat Brigade. Give Tim Hunter a free action and choose an adjacent friendly character with the mystical keyword and one or more action tokens. Tim Hunter can use the powers possessed by the chosen character until the beginning of your next turn. I love that power, personally. Anyway. So yeah, basically, if you've got someone adjacent to him, or someone friendly adjacent to him that has done stuff, he can do the same stuff too. Anywho, rest of the dial. Phasing teleport gives away to running shot. Eventually, we pick up the special attack power, destined to be the world's greatest magician. Tim Hunter can use energy deflection, probability control, pulse wave, super senses, and willpower. Everyone's annoyingly concerned for my welfare clicks into impervious. And mentored by the Trenchcoat Brigade gives way to perplex. Now, let's talk about Etrigan, also known as the Demon. Okay, so Etrigan comes in at 100 points, just like Jason Blood. Has the Mystic Steam ability, again, just like Jason Blood. And he's got the Justice League Dark, Mystical, and Shadow Pact keywords. Next up, we start off with a trait. Gone, gone, O Etrigan, rise again in the form of man. And you can give him a free action if he begin your turn on the map. Replace him with Jason Blood, World's Finest Figure number 29, on the same click number. Anyway, we open up with Running Shot. Special attack power, have a taste of burning flames. Etrigan can use Energy Explosion. When he makes an attack and hits, after action resolve, he can use Smoke Cloud as a free action, but must place at least one hindering terrain marker adjacent to a hit character. He's got 2 targets. On defense, we open up with Toughness, and we got Perplex on damage. That's the only damage power he's got. Rest of the dial. Running Shot gives way to Stealth. Stealth gives way to Adept at Rhymes and Wording Games. Etrigan can use Plasticity and Sidestep. When he's adjacent to an opposing character, he can't be attacked by non-adjacent opposing characters. Have a Taste of Burning Flames gives way to Blaze Claw's Fangs. Toughness gives way to Combat Reflexes. Not too shabby. So if combat picks up, you can basically just go like that. And when you're kind of not in the mood for combat, well, you can do that. Anyways, our final team for the day is an Avengers team. Anyways, we kick things off with Thor. Thor comes at 150 points, brings the Avengers team ability to the table, as well as he has Guardian, Avengers, and Deity keywords. He's got the Avengers Founder. Oh, yes. Yeah, he's got the Avengers Founder trait. This is the one from the classic Avengers, founding event. Their classic or founding Avengers Fast Forces, which came out in conjunction with the Age of Ultron storyline, organized play stuff. Anyway, you got the Avengers Founder trait. When adjacent to other friendly characters with this trait, Thor can use Enhancement. We open up with sidestep, or not sidestep, with running shot. What is on attack? We've got penetrating psychic blast. On defense, we've got impervious and nothing on damage. Anyway, that's the dial. Running shot gives way to charge. Charge gives way to flurry. Penetrating psychic blast gives way to super strength. Impervious gives way to vulnerability, and vulnerability gives way to toughness. Next on the list is She-Hulk. She-Hulk. Now, first thing you might be wondering, why does She-Hulk have a red base compared to everyone else's black bases? That is because She-Hulk is from the Civil War storyline organized playset where pro-registration characters had a red base. It made them easy to denote in the booster. Anyway, so like I said, she comes in at 90 points, no team ability. Then she's got the Avengers, Brute, Heroes for Hire, Lady Liberators, and pro-registration keywords. She's got improved movement, ignores and destroys blocking terrain. Then she's got the trait Cease and Desist. She-Hulk can use super strength. When she makes an object attack and hits, after actions resolve, give the hit character an action token. And let's see, so we open up with charge. We're blank on no attack power starting off. Invulnerability, and no damage power starting off. Anyways, so the rest of the dial, charge gives way to leap climb gives way to sidestep. She clicks into quake, vulnerability gives way to toughness, and she clicks into close combat expert. All work for, She-Hulk. Next on the list is Hawkeye. This is the Hawkeye that I pretty much use all the time anymore. Comes in at 75 points. It's got the Avengers Initiative team ability. Then we've got Avengers, Martial Arts, and Spy, and Stark Industries keywords. Improved targeting ignores characters. The trait You and I Remember Budapest very differently. Hawkeye can use Running Shot. When he's adjacent to a friendly character named Black Widow, they both modify their attack value by +1, if not already modified by this effect. Opening up, we've got Stealth, Penetrating Psychic Blast, Willpower, and Enhancement. Rest of the dial, we've got Sidestep, Stealth gives way to Sidestep, Penetrating Psychic Blast gives way to the special power Explosive Arrows. Hawkeye can use Energy Explosion, and improved targeting ignores and destroys blocking terrain. Willpower gives way to Energy Shield Deflection. Enhancement gives way to the special power The Deadly Hawk. Hawkeye can use Ranged Combat Expert. When he has no action tokens, he may either activate it as a ranged combat action, or he may modify his attack value by an additional +1 when using it. Alright. Next up, we've got Ant-Man. Also from the classic Avengers Fast Forces. Ant-Man comes in at 75 points. Has the Avengers team ability. Also has Avengers and Scientist keywords. And the Avengers founder trait. Much like Thor, except that instead of enhancement, he can use Empower. Now, opening up, right off the bat, we've got Stealth on speed, Precision Strike on attack, Super Senses on defense, and Outwit on movement. Also, since he has a tiny size ability, he can be carried by anyone, really. Rest of the dial. Stealth gives way to charge. Precision Strike's the only thing he's got on attack. Super Senses gives way to combat reflexes. And Outwit gives way to the special power I Pack a Punch, which allows and activate Close Combat Expert as a close combat action. When he uses Close Combat Expert, he has standard damage value until your next turn, and that gives way to Perplex. Next up, we've got Agent Coulson, who we've also been using quite a bit, and then because I kind of just recently remembered he, can do stuff. Anyway, Agent Coulson comes in at 75 points, has the Shield team ability, brings the Avengers, Shield, Soldier, and Spy keywords to the table, has a trait Field Team Backup. While Agent Shield is attacking a single character, if another friendly character with this trait has line of fire to the target, Coulson can use probability control. There is not another character on this team with the Field Team Backup keyword trait, so sadly, yeah. Anyways, Coulson opens up with Running Shot, the special attack power, field testing some new tech, which allows Coulson to use Energy Explosion and Penetrating Psychic Blast, because that's the combination that everyone's using on attack. Then we've got on defense, Toughness, and on damage, special power, Agent level 7. Coulson can use Enhancement and Leadership. When he uses Leadership and succeeds, he may instead remove an action token from up to 2 friendly characters that share a keyword with him. Okay. Now the rest of the dial. Running Shot gives way to Stealth. Field Testing some new tech gives way to Incapacitate. Toughness gives way to Combat Reflexes. And Agent level 7 gives way to Empower. Alright. Next on the list, we've got Scarlet Witch. I do love that sculpt. So nice looking. Anyway, Scarlet Witch comes in at 75 points. She's got the X-Men and Avengers team abilities. She brings the Avengers, Lady Liberators, Mystical, and X-Men keywords to the table. She's got 2 traits. First is Avengers Unity Division. When this character is given a move action, after action resolves, she can use the X-Men team ability as a free action. As there's no one else with the X-Men team ability, it's kind of kind of pointless to state that. Next up, we've got Hex Magic. Gives Scarlet Witch a power action to attach the Hex Magic marker, or simply Hex marker. This little scene right here. To a character within range and line of fire, removing it from anywhere else. If that character is friendly, when that character makes attacks, a critical hit is an attack roll of 10, 11, or 12. If that character is opposing, when that character attacks, a critical miss is an attack roll of 2, 3, or 4. When Scarlet Witch is KO'd, remove the Hex marker. Alright. Now we open up with Phasing. Then we've got Precision Strike on attack. Super Senses on defense. And special damage power of Winds of Magic. Scarlet Witch can use Enhancement and Probability Control. Okay, alright. Now the rest of the dial. Phasing Teleport gives way to Running Shot. Precision Strike gives way to Penetrating Psychic Blast. Super Senses gives way to Energy Deflection. And Winds of Magic gives way to just normal Probability Control. Anyways, finally, rounding out the team, we've got Nick Fury Jr., who looks a lot like the Nick Fury we all know and love from the movies. Well, in the comics, until Ultimates came out, the only Nick Fury we ever knew was a white guy. tended to chomp on cigars. But then Ultimates came along, and we got ourselves a black Nick Fury, who looked like Samuel L. Jackson. So after the success of the movies, the follow-ups to Fear itself introduced Marcus Johnson, who it turns out was an illegitimate son of Nick Fury. And when he joined S.H.I.E.L.D., they just kind of, since he's Nick Fury's son, he just took the name Nick Fury Jr. Anyway, Nick Fury Jr. comes in at 65 points. He's got the S.H.I.E.L.D. team ability, brings the Avengers, S.H.I.E.L.D., Soldier, and Spy keywords to the table. And we've got the trait Changing the World, taking down dictators. Opposing characters adjacent to 2 or more friendly characters with the S.H.I.E.L.D. keyword can't use Willpower or Mastermind. Okay. Then we open up with Running Shot. On attack, we've got Precision Strike. On defense, we've got Energy Deflection. And on damage, we've got Leadership. Now, the rest of the dial. Running Shot gives way to the special speed power Back to the Vault. Nick Fury Jr. can use Incapacitate and Plasticity. When he's given a move action, if he ends his move action adjacent to an opposing character, he may use Incapacitate as a free action after action resolve. Precision Strike is the only power he's got on his on the attack portion of the dial. Inertial Deflection gives way to Willpower. Willpower gives way to Regeneration. Next up, on damage, Leadership gives way to Enhancement, and Enhancement gives way to Outwit. And those are the teams I'm considering I'm gonna, one of which I will be using tomorrow. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.